Hello, everybody. As we can see, the Arizona Department of Health Services on August 8, 2020 reported 1,054, get the pen, 1,054 new cases, and there were a total of 13,040 new tests reported. So we're going to take that 1,054, divide by the 13,040, okay? Now, I don't know, sorry about this, it just should be 13,040. So everything's pretty much set up over here. 1,054 divided by 13,040. We're going to use the flagged adjunct division method. I'm going to choose 13,040 as our divisor, so I'm going to put 13 over here, 0, 4, 0 over here. And now let's get set up with the 1, 0, 5, 4 point. Let's put a couple zeros, 3 or 4. Okay, or 5. So we're going to ask ourselves, how many times is 13 going to 105 since it doesn't go into 1 or 10? And the answer is 8, because 13 times 8 is 104. So that means there's 1 left over here, because 105 minus 104 is 1, so there's 1 left over here. Okay? Great. Now we're going to make our first adjustment, and this is going to help us see the structure. So notice how I start with 0, then I put 0, 4, then I'm going to put 0, 4, 0. Great. So the first adjustments, and we're going to have a minus here, 2 minuses here, and every other step is going to consist of 3 minuses. So you see the structure that way. Okay? So first adjustment is going to consist of 0 times just this first quotient figure, 8. So 0 times 8 is just 0. So we're going to we have no adjustment to make, but let's just write it. And so we have 14. Now we ask ourselves, how many times is 13 going to 14? Clearly the answer is 1. And there's 1 left over. Now we're going to make a double adjustment. We're going to work with the 8 and the 1, and then the 0 and the 4. So if I put 8, 1 over here, I'm going to cross multiply and add. So I get 32 and then 0. So 32 and then 0. So 10 minus 32 is negative 22. That's okay. So we have to get comfortable with negative remainders because we can still get our answer that way. So how many times is 13 going to negative 22? The answer is negative 2. So you can write it like this with a vinculum over it. So 13 times negative 2 is negative 26. So there has to be 4 left over here. So I'm going to put a 4. Great. Now we're going to make a triple adjustment with the 8, 1, and the vinculum 2. And it's going to consist of cross multiply, add, cross multiply there, and then 4 times 1. So 0 times negative 2 is just 0. 0 times 8 is just 0. And 4 times 1 is 4. So 40 minus 4 is 36. How many times is 13 going to 36? Let's say twice. So since it goes in twice, 13 times 2 is 26, so there's 10 left over, so I'm left with 100 over here. Now we're going to make every subsequent step we make a triple adjustment. So I have to work with my most recent quotient figures, so I'm going to work with the 1, 2, 2, with the vinculum over here. And we're going to follow the same procedure, so cross multiply, and then here and here. So I get 0, 0, and then negative 8. 0, 0, negative 8. Now, since this is a minus a negative, it gets added. So 100 plus 8 is 108. How many times is 13 going to 108? 13 times 8 is 104, so we're going to say 8 again, just like in the first step. 13 times 8 is 104. So there's 4 left over. And we're going to make another triple adjustment. So I guess I'll do it over here, right underneath here, okay? So 0, 4, 0. My most recent ones are these 2, 2, and 8, and the 2 as a vinculum here. So I get 0, 0, 8, okay? So as you can see, the first 2 steps in this case are always going to be 0 because the nature of the problem. We have two flag digits that are 0, but it's okay to write it all out. So 40 minus 8 is 32. How many times does 13 go into 32? We're going to say twice, right? And since 13 times 2 is 26, sorry about my 2's. 13 times 2 is 26. That means that there's 6 left over. And let's just make one last triple adjustment. So 0, 4, 0. And now I'm going to do 2, 8, 2. And nothing has a vinculum. 2, 8, 2. So 0, 0, 32. 0, 0. Okay. So 60 minus 30 is 30. So I get minus 2 is another 28. And how many times is 13 going to 28? Let's say 2. And if you put a 0 here, there'll be a remainder of 2. Okay, so let's get our final answer, because don't forget we put a vinculum here. So the easiest way to think about these types of problems is let's just only focus on this right here. So it's just basically 10 minus 12, which is 0, 8. So final answer is, let's put it over here, it equals 8. Then we're going to talk about where the decimal goes after. 8. Instead of putting 12, I'm going to put 0, 8 with no vinculum. 2, 8, 2, 2. Okay? Now, where does the decimal go? So notice how the decimal's here. So at first we bring it straight down. Then we have to bring it 3 spaces to the left. So there's 3 flag digits. So 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be right here. And then to make it a percent, we bring it 2 spaces to the right. So let's get it as a percent. 8.082%. Okay, so we got it to a lot of places. Good job. Keep practicing. Keep paying attention to the structure, and you'll get better and better at these problems. Okay.